Hello, and welcome. We are broadcasting live from GlobalAIPreneurs, the premier global gateway and unified operating system for trusted AI enterprises. Right now, we are witnessing an unprecedented paradigm shift. The AI landscape is expanding exponentially, stretching across 8 plus categories and over 130 distinct technologies. Yet, this explosion has brought an unintended bottleneck. Enterprise buyers they are facing severe decision paralysis. Investors are swimming in unvetted noise, and brilliant founders remain isolated from the cross border institutional bridges they needed to scale. The results are clear capital inefficiency and deployment friction. Promoted by the Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade and Global Council for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, Global AI Trainers was built to change the narrative. We are moving decisively past passive directories. We are a multi layer engagement engine spanning technical, operational reviews, and community rankings connecting enterprise demands directly with trusted AI supply. Operating across our primary global hubs in India, Singapore, UAE, Saudi Arabia, the USA, the UK, Switzerland, the EU, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, we are bridging the gap between raw potential and institutional deployment. Today, as part of our knowledge interview series, we are charting the future of the ecosystem. Joining us is a leader who embodies exactly what it means to build with high intent, high density, and high absolute impact. Eliza Sophia, thank you for joining us today to help shape the future of global AIpreneurs. Eliza is an international entrepreneurship growth strategist, corporate capability expert, the founder and CEO of Aleonz Consultancy, holding a master degree in entrepreneurship and innovation from University Kebangsaan, Malaysia. She specializes in helping startups bridging the gap between innovative ideas and sustainable business growth. As an international mentor with the Founder Institute, Elijah has guided founders across global startups ecosystem, including the Caribbean, Bali, Turkey, and Marco, helping them strengthening commercialization strategies, business developments, and cross-border partnerships with the experience collaborating with organizations such as Marinti, Eon, and Nafas. She is passionate about empowering AI and technology startups to build resilient teams, refine their market positioning, the scale successfully while maintaining strong founders' well-being and organizational capability. Elijah, thank you. Thank you for joining us today to help shape the future global AIpreneurs.
Thank you, Sushma, as well, and GlobalAIPreneurs for having me. Thank you, Sushma. So, hi everyone, my name is Eliza, and today I'm going to be talking about using AI in your startups. As a AI founder, for example, this is an introduction guide for founders. So, this is a simple guide to grow your business, and when you're working with AI, you're going to be looking at it as your helpful partner, and also understanding the AI support available in Malaysia. So just to give you a little bit brief about my background and my company. So at the moment, I'm working on 4 different areas. So one, I'm working with a lot of founders on strategic consultancy, more towards business development, strategy, growth, and partnership. And I'm also a corporate trainer in Malaysia for soft skills. So I also collaborate on module designs with the universities or training. I also provide facilitation. Occasionally, I mentor professionals as well. So I have something called Vision to Mission. So I work more towards transformation, and I collaborate with the universities as either as a lecturer part-time. I also supported one research paper. I'm also trying to build out the ecosystems more towards entrepreneurship in Malaysia as well. So a little bit brief about my background. As you mentioned, Sushma, I have collaborated with 6 different accelerator programs from Founder Institute. They are currently based in Silicon Valley, and they have chapters globally. So I'm currently very active in 6 global chapters, which is Indonesia, Caribbean, Turkey, Morocco, Switzerland, and Germany. So just a little bit brief about my background before I got into entrepreneurship and innovation. So during the pandemic, the government have provided a lot of free online courses like Coursera, which was available to me. And I was very fortunate that I had the chance to learn about so many different topics. So what interests me was entrepreneurship. And then after I did few trainings on it, then I decided, I want to switch into this line. And then I decided to do my master's. So I think it's very important, whether you're a founder or working professional, it's very important for you to always train your mind to upskill yourself. And previously to that as well, I think I studied at Open University Malaysia for my Bachelor's of English Studies with Honours. I also think it also helped me a lot when it comes to communication skills as well. So I can see a lot of founders as well, they have a lot of good ideas, but sometimes they lack maybe a little bit on storytelling or the way how they present themselves during a pitch with investors. Currently, I am in University College Malaysian and Sport as an industrial advisor for their entrepreneurship and management programs. I am a certified HRD Corp trainer, and I've already mentored more than 50 startups over the last few years. So today I'm going to be discussing on part 1, how to think about AI from the founder's perspective. So just before moving on, let's say, for example, a lot of founders I came across, they like to say, oh, I have AI. And some of them do it just to look cool because they can hype up the scene as well about the AI culture. But it's completely a different perspective and mindset. You're supposed to look at it as, for example, AI is not just a tool. It's supposed to be a helper to your core business. So AI can help you in so many different ways. So let's say, for example, today, I use Gemini to create the slides, some of them. So I put in the prompt, I gave them my idea. So actually within less than few minutes, it came up with the whole info and the design. So sometimes it can help you save time as well, which is something I use AI for. So for me, there's 3 rules of using AI, for example, to solve real problems. Because in your own business, you come across different type of problems. So let's say, for example, it will be time factor. Maybe you don't have enough time to come up with 20 slides within half an hour. Maybe you need to pitch to new investors or to clients as well. So for example, different pitch decks will be curated for different reasons. So over here, don't only look at AI just because it's cool. It is to use to help you to solve real life problems. So focus on your customers' actual pain. Maybe customers maybe have difficulty communicating their problems. So you can put in a AI chat box to help them navigate. Not every time you need to have customer service over there. Maybe they can just come up with a question, then the AI give an answer to it. So some of the AI tools are very simple and easy to use as well. So it's also, you can use Cloud, ChatGPT, Gemini to test out your ideas first as well. You can also use it as a guide, whether how to start your business as well. So second point is, it also helps you to do more with less difficult factors. Let's say, for example, you are using AI to do basic tasks like answering customer messages, writing a code, and taking down notes as well. So I rely heavily on my Google Notes as well, because it also saves a lot of my time. Instead of writing down every point on my notebook, it's over there already, and I can actually search one particular type of questions or answer that I'm looking for. And the third point that I would like to discuss is also very important for you to save your own data. So let's say, for example, you can buy standard AI tools. It's also very important for you to collect your own unique customer feedback and to store the data so others won't easily copy you. And you also have proof as well that you have conducted, let's say, for example, trainings or maybe some sort of project you have done. So over here, you're going to be looking at where to put AI in your startup. So there's two different ways you can use AI. One is AI for your daily work, and the second part is to look at AI in your product. So the first part for me personally, AI for daily work. So what do I usually use it for? So I like to organize my notes, write emails. Sometimes some emails are very long, so I use the AI to respond back to them. It codes a little bit faster and also automate basic office tasks. And my main goal is actually to save time and spend less money, because if I just start up my business, for me to hire someone might be very costly. So what I do is actually use 2 or 3 different type of AI tools to actually help me manage my time and as well collect info as well. So how does it help you to run your business? So personally for me, my budget is very small this year. So I managed to use few AI tools to get things done faster. Let's say, for example, just now as I mentioned, I used AI tools to come up with this pitch deck design and arrange the info as well. Second part, like now you can look at AI in your product. So a lot of startups, they have beautiful ideas. Sometimes the integration or maybe the features are there are not very interactive or attractive. So it's important to look at interactive features for users, something easy for them to use. Then you can also custom suggestions and also have smart helpers inside your help app, for example. Then look and make your product incredibly helpful. So I came across few startups that actually put their chat box, and I actually used a chat box. Some of them was quite easy to use. Some of them was quite difficult. I didn't get the info that I was looking for. So when you have AI in your product or services, a lot of users will love your product. They also will stay longer as customer, and this builds up customer retention. Also, they will tell their friends about it, and that way help you build your customer base as well. So there are 3 simple rules to avoid mistakes when you're using AI. So first of all, sometimes AI can make mistakes. So AI is just like a human being. So sometimes they can come up with incorrect facts. So it's very important for you to do a little bit of research. Either go to Google Scholar, go and check up on the facts, and then also you can help use the research to put in your presentation as well, because you can have credibility over there. Then after, watch your spending, because sometimes these apps can be quite useful, but they also can be very, very costly if you get too many AI tools. So for example, I was using ChatGPT, I had Gemini, I was planning to get Cloud. Then I decided, this AI apps also can be quite expensive. So it's important for you to look at your costs, that you don't run out of money as well when you're starting out as a founder in a startup. And it's also very important for you to keep your customers' data private and safe. So for example, they might have a secret business plan. You don't have to put everything, let's say for example, into the system. You can just ask little bit questions. You don't have to pull out the whole business plan to it into a public AI system. So we're going to be looking over here at part 2, support and safety. So how does the Malaysian government is helping the startups currently in Malaysia, and how can we protect human workers in the future as well? So Malaysia, I previously was working in a research paper in 2023, and they were talking about SMEs and as well grants and incentive available in Malaysia, which actually built up my knowledge as well. Banks, universities, government bodies, and also private sectors. Each each one of them, they have very unique incentive grants, or maybe they have collaboration over it. So in Malaysia, there's a lot of helpful government bodies which is actually promoting entrepreneurship, startups, AI to come up with new innovations. So for example, the first one over here, we can look at local cloud systems. The government is currently building a special computer so that your business data stay safe in Malaysia. As I mentioned, I think one of the most beautiful part of Malaysia, they actually try to upskill whether you're a youth or a senior citizen. They have programs for everybody. So every year, either SME Corp or HRD Corp, there's so many different organizations. They are always having some sort of free training program available for the public. So this week, let's say, for example, I'm participating in as a trainer for National Training Week. So over there, they have free programs for everyone, and any training provider or trainer can join over there to upskill, whether it's youth, senior citizens, working professionals. So over here, they have Mahir programs. We actually help people to use AI tools for their jobs. And the most important part, there's a lot of funding. There's over 600 million set aside by the government to help digitalize business to grow and build up new tech or innovation, whether it's product or service. So a few years ago, I was very fortunate to be invited to National AI office opening. It was in Madrid. So over here, this is the first time I saw such a large crowd. There's so many organizations that came from international market as well locally, which had booths, and they were talking about AI. Let's say for example, big business, small business, how did they use AI as part of the solution for their customers? So over here, what the National AI Office is doing, they are trying to provide safe and fair standards. They are trying to make sure that AI companies build technology which is safe and treat users fairly across the country. They are also known as NAO. So there's a lot of new rules, regulations, laws that's coming up, and they are also looking at old laws to, for example, to come up with new laws as well, that everything will be quite ethical and in the guidelines. So when coming to talking about ethics and guidelines, they also created a special AI code of ethics to prevent bad users of tech and to protect the customer's private data. And third is national policies. They help the government draft up new laws to make sure Malaysia is prepared for rapid technology changes, like I mentioned earlier. So these are the type of incentives that the government is taking in Malaysia to make sure that the users are being well equipped with the knowledge of AI. They're also quite safe and protected when it comes to the law and national policies as well. So over here, I went for a lot of MDEC startups over the years for their events. So they are also trying to help startups come up with better collaboration. So they have big grants. So MDEC is often giving out funding. Let's say, for example, MDEC AI grant, up to 2 million to help digitalize companies to sell and adopt AI tools. They also provide a lot of good connections over there as well, whether it's locally or internationally. They try to do business matching. They try to promote events. They try to have trade shows. They also do a lot of online public recognition as well. So over here, they have industry connections. They will match up your startup with major Malaysian businesses who are actively looking to buy local tech companies and AI solutions. And looking at regional expansion, they support startups expanding outside of Malaysia to find business and clients across Southeast Asia. And I also found out they also try to help international bodies as well to come to Malaysia as well, and then also to match them up with local startups. So let's look at MOSTI. So this is also another government body, which is a funding national for tech. So they are also trying to build out a lot of national tech blueprint For example, they have created a national AI roadmap to guide where the country should invest its tech resources. They also provide research a lot, scientific research. They provide budget directly to startups, universities, and research labs to develop advanced machine softwares. Lastly, they also provide security testing. They run programs that check software safely, detect fake media, deep fakes, and protect digital assets. So Cradle is doing a lot for startups. They have a lot of grants, for example, for especially first stage grants. They offer something called SIP Spark Grant up to 150,000 ringgit to help you build your very first working prototype MVP. And they also, for example, they are also a one-stop platform. They run the My Startup platform, which actually connects you directly to helpful mentors, tech developers, and private investors. And they also collaborate a lot with startups when they are providing the SIP grants. They help with the growth and launch funding to test your finished AI product in the market and start selling to real customers. So over here, over the years when I was looking at the startups, I used to go for a lot of events. Usually, one of the most famous logo that I'll come across is either Cradle or MDEC backing up the startups to come to promote their themselves in the marketplace. So they have events, they invite the startups over there and bring the founders to speak over. So this is the type of things I think is very helpful for founders and especially for fresh startups, because some of them, they are not very good in marketing themselves. So this helps to promote themselves and their company. And then also it builds up a brand name as well. So I'm currently registered as a human resource development training provider. So one great thing about HRD Corp is that they provide a lot of free courses with the government. They collaborate. So they have upskilling for especially, let's say, project management. I also heard they were also doing some projects with AI. So we have reclaimable training funds over here. So what they do is they collect the funds for monthly company levies and let you reuse them completely to pay for your employee costs or to upskill yourself. So there's a lot of new courses that I've seen for the last 2 years related to AI. How do you use AI? AI for finance, AI for storytelling. There's so many different AI courses that have came up. So they also, for example, they have courses on practical AI courses. They cover structured classes to help your employees learn AI tools for daily admin, sales, content, and HR, and reskilling existing teams. So for example, you can quickly make your current workforce faster and more efficient without wasting your valuable startup runway. For example, how you can integrate the chat box. Or second one, how do you use AI to come up with pitch decks, memos, proposals, and then also, for example, for me, usually I use it a lot for coming out with proposals, schedules, timetables. So these are actually very helpful tools, for example, which we can use. Because, for example, to write one proposal, those days, let's say, for example, before I started using ChatGPT, it used to take me 3-4 hours. So within half an hour, I can actually come up with a proposal that I actually like after a few prompts as well. So recently, we have seen worldwide there's a lot of retention going on because some people are getting fired because of AI. But over here from China court cases, which I've been reading about, they actually protect people from losing their job to AI. So for example, you can't fire employees because AI has come over. They're using heavily AI and machines or robotics. So there's been a lot of retention, whether it's in Penang or any part of Malaysia or worldwide. You can't just fire people because there's also a standard procedure. So over there, the courts has ruled that bringing in AI in business choice, you cannot fire workers just because AI can do their job in China. And second part is no sudden pay cuts. So bosses are not allowed to lower a worker's pay or give them a worse position just because AI is doing some of their work. AI is supposed to help you save time, be part of a tool, being part of your journey. It's not supposed to replace you. And most important part is to help workers learn. So first of all, companies must try to teach their current workers how to use AI tools So for example, upskilling them, reskilling them, making sure that they can understand how to use AI tools, how is it supposed to ease up their life, save time. Instead of them being worried, okay, new AI tools have came up, the software is being integrated in the company, am I going to get fired for it? The most important part is always remembering that everybody plays a very important role in the organization. There are some skills which cannot be replaced by AI. So for example, communication skills. It's great that AI can talk like a human being, but physically you need somebody face to face to do business meetings as well. Not everything needs to be emotionless. So it's very important to have social intelligence over here. So looking at AI as your helpful partner. So good technology does boring tasks for you, for example. But great technology works right beside you to make your ideas even better. So I always think AI is a co-worker, not as an enemy. So for a lot of founders that I came across, when they have integrated AI into their startups, they say, okay, for example, because I have AI, I can actually hire more people now for the sales and marketing team. Because some part the AI is doing their work, so they have the chat box, so it eats up time. So sometimes it can help you 10x with more work done. So for another example is 70% of boring admin work is cut down. And 2.5%, it also helps you to launch things faster. So just to recap what I was mentioning about earlier. So in Malaysia, there's a lot of great opportunities. If let's say, for example, internationally, you want to come and start a business over here, I think we have a lot of great startups which would be good to collaborate with. And they can also be, let's say, for example, co-founders, or maybe they can collaborate with your business expansion in Southeast Asia. There's a lot of incentive, grants, and the banks as well, which are providing a lot of opportunities for collaboration in these aspects, whether it's for entrepreneurship or building up a business. So which three areas which I'm looking at the moment, which would be great to use AI tools. So because I do different type of consultancy, these are three areas which I'm looking at: smart farming, smart schools, and smart shipping. So for example, agriculture. At the moment, I'm looking at different areas in agriculture where AI tools are being implemented. So for example, the first one that I came across is flying drones and smart tools to check the crop is healthy, to find plant disease easily and early stages, and to grow more food with less waste. And smart schools are coming up quite popular, and a lot of investors, for example, I came across, they are looking into outside of Silicon Valley to come into Southeast Asia to look at smart schools and to invest in as well. So creating school apps that change their lessons automatically. If a student learns fast or slow, the app adapts to help them, so they can be their teachers as well. Because everybody have a different learning style. Some might be good in, let's say, for example, music. Some students might be good in arts. Some might be good in maths. So everybody have different learning styles. So the third part I think is very important is, let's say, for example, smart shipping. So this is more towards supply chain. So using AI to predict how many items you need to keep in stock, or finding the fastest and cheapest routes for delivery trucks. Because as you know, vegetables get spoiled easily. So supply chain and smart farming go together. I can see there's a connection over there, which I see a long-term popularity in these two areas. So over here, I'm going to be looking at what investors really want. So whether I came across a venture builder studio, investors or VCs or PE, they have been telling me, if let's say, for example, if I'm going to be discussing about a startup that I came across and mentored, whether it's in Founder Institute or in Malaysia. So they're telling me, let's say, for example, all the startups, they say they have AI, but they fail to explain, for example, how does AI help to solve their customers' problem? So I think it's the most important part. When I came across investors, the first thing they ask me, for example, who's the founder? Do you like the founder yourself? And how does the founder carries himself? So some founders I came across, they say, oh, I have AI. So I asked them, what does your AI do? They just say, oh, we had an existing business. We just implemented AI. So they mentioned they've just put ChatGPT. but sometimes, they integrated some chat GPT aspects to it sometimes, or they have chat box. So sometimes they fail to innovate their product or service as well. So usually the hard truth is investors don't buy AI, they actually buy solutions to painful problems. So I came across the health tech sector. Some of them are actually using AI tools to diagnose early stage cancers, how AI can use to be preventing diseases as well, or detecting problems. So this is a type of AI innovations where we can see they actually can solve customer problems. So usually investors, they don't want to fund another basic AI tool that anyone can build in a weekend. They actually want to see real business ideas or solutions that actually solve boring, expensive problems for actual customers. So for example, let's look at starting with the pain. Explain exactly who's suffering and how much money they are losing before you can even explain your AI tech. So that's the most important part I feel for founders that they should do. Then secondly is to prove your moat. Show why a competitor cannot just copy your AI prompts or use simple software to steal your customers. So for example, maybe you have trademarked your business, you have copyrights, you have patent. So these are the type of things that actually builds up investors' trust and credibility for yourself as well. And it's also very important for you to show real value. Prove how much your product actually save days, work, or cut massive costs, making it impossible for users to live without it. So for example, I think all of us, I can safely say, have some sort of AI tool that we are collaborating with. So for me, for example, it's my Gemini. So we definitely has adopted, let's say for the last 1-2 years, using AI to ease up our work as well. So for example, for any other training providers, what I have seen with them, so they use AI to come up with proposals, they use AI to come up with pitch decks, they use AI with posters, banners, emails, marketing. So usually this is a type of innovations that users will be willing to pay for. Something that makes their life easier and to save time and money. So the winning of a founder's mindset, when you're trying to think like a winner, it's very important for you to keep it simple. I think sometimes some founders I came across, they will talk so much about the problems, they fail to even answer simple questions. What is the solution in a very simple way? So for example, I always like to keep things simple. Do not chase every new AI trend which is going on. Focus on using the easiest, cheapest, and the most reliable tools to build things up. They actually solve problems for today. Don't think about the future so much. Let's say, for example, 10 years from now, this AI tool is going to be using this way, this, that, all. This came across some founders. So it's very important to put humans first, have social intelligence. AI is just a helper. Your real business strength comes from understanding human feelings, building a strong customer trust, and caring for your team. So for me, for example, I feel it's very important to have social intelligence, emotional intelligence, and emotional regulation. For example, when dealing with customers or with your own team as well, because you're building something for yourself and for the community. So for example, I came across a lot of new founders. They actually take their time to actually interact with the customers so they can get feedback from them. So for example, I came across one founder who was talking about how he talks one-on-one with the customers. He's building up uh, the business with them. So he said he gets the feedback whether the app is working or not, what can be improved, and what type of future product or service they'd like to see in there. So that way he actually doing few things. First, he's getting feedback from customers, which is helpful for his data. Second, they also bring in new customers as well. So they recommend, oh, this tool is so great, I like the founder. So they actually invite their friends over to come and use the product or services. So you also must think long term. Do not just try to build a quick app to make a fast cash. Focus on building a stable, trusted business that your users actually will be very happy to pay for over the years. So for example, I came across a few founders and business. So they actually don't mind spending 100,000 or 200,000 to make their business better. So this is the type of things that we can look into. AI as a helper to help your life, make it easier, whether you're a business founder or a student as well. So let's say, for example, if you have any questions in the future, you can ask me. So my email address is, I have mistakenly, I didn't put it over there. You can actually write to me, info@aleonz.com, and my website is www.aleonz.com. Thank you, Shushma.
Yeah, thank you, Elijah, for the insightful and inspiring presentation. Your perspective on entrepreneurship, startup growth, founder development, and organizational capability have provided valuable insights for our global AIpreneurs community. So I just ask you the one question to explore your expensive and your experience and your perspective in greater depth. So you have spotted starters founders across multiple international markets, each with its own unique businesses, culture, and challenges. So what practical advice would you give AI startups preparing to enter new global markets while building strong partnerships and adapting to different business environments?
Thank you, Shushma, for the question, and I love it. So, for example, global markets, you can't just copy paste your business into a new country. You actually need to partner with local experts who already have built the trust of the market. Should I stop my presentation slides? Okay. So, as mentioning earlier, so you can't just copy and paste your business into a new country. You actually need to build a very good, strong foundation with local partners, local experts who actually have built the trust in the marketplace in their country. So for the first one is pivot from traditional to ecosystem-led go-to-market strategies. Instead of relying on heavily marketing budget, cold outreach, or long sales cycles, which drastically increase customer acquisition costs, focus on leveraging shared credibility, ecosystem building to decrease and de-risk early global expansion because you inherit the trust of the regional players who's already established over there. So, for example, leverage on warm introductions rather than sending out cold LinkedIn emails or messages to a new country. Seek warm referrals to cross-border accelerators, VCs, or international industry partners. Secondly is to look at acquire shared credibility. Co-brand your AI solution with trusted local institutions, whether it's universities or corporate innovation programs, to immediately overcome foreign market skepticism. Then we're also going to be looking at mapping out and diversify your local strategic partners. So for example, to properly integrate into a new business environment, you must map out the local landscape and identify 5 key types of partners. So for example, what I look at is channel partners, technology partners, knowledge partners, and government or community partners. So going back to the first one, channel partners. Target regional corporates, SMEs, or industry-specific operators like insurance firms or hospitals for direct customers or revenue access. Second part is the most important partner you should always have is a technology partner. Work with existing regional cloud providers, payment gateways, or SaaS platform to scale out your AI infrastructures to make it reliable. Then knowledge partners plays a very important role to tie up with subject matter experts to prove credibility, consultants, research institutions to ensure that your AI models match local regulations and domain standards. Because each country will have different rules, regulations, and laws related to AI or a different business model when you're trying to enter in for market expansion. And the government and community partners plays a very important role in the ecosystem. Collaborate with regional ministries, grant bodies, accelerator programs, and founder hubs to secure institutional legitimacy and resources. And third part that I would like to discuss is implement a start small, prove value, and scale intentionally framework. So sometimes even I did a mistake early on in my business. Oh, for example, I'm going to cater for everybody, you know. And this is something which a lot of founders, when they pitch, they are talking about this marketplace. I'm going to reach 300 million. You're only maybe going to reach maybe 400 or 500 customers first. So start with small, you make it quite niche as possible. So entering a global market does not mean launching at maximum capacity on day one. So you should have a follow structured approach to building partnerships. So first one is to identify your local ICP, pinpoint exactly who is your early stage buyers are in the target country. Then look at the aligned incentives. Ensure that local partners receive clear value, whether it is an added feature for their members, regional brand or visibility, or a revenue share. So for example, recently I had a consultancy project. where my client was actually telling me what's available in their country with related to grants and incentives. Then I had another client who's actually doing this business. So I actually make an introduction to both of them, where I can see whether there's any collaboration in the future for them to work on certain projects. So for example, let's say, for example, your country might not have that incentive. Maybe another country like Tunisia, Morocco, they might have different type of incentives, which is actually more aligned to your project. So you can collaborate with local partners. So we are also looking at launch low risk pilots first. So usually don't try to jump into a very big project. Don't ask for massive enterprise commitments initially. Start with a co-hosted workshop, a simple referral programs, or small scale pilot projects to build up data back proof of the concept. So that way you can actually build up case studies and then you have proof as well. The fourth part that I would like to discuss is avoid transactional pitfalls. So for example, when you're dealing with various business cultures, whether it's relationship that takes precedence over transactions. So for example, there's also a lot of common errors to actively avoid. So first of all, is avoid pitching without crystal clear clarity on how your AI solves the partner's specific pain point. Secondly, is do not overpromise early stage capabilities or expect immediate, instantaneous, or commercial results. Everything takes time. So every project that you do, you have to have, let's say, for example, you mustn't think overnight, which is a mistake I did early on. Everything can be fine. So sometimes life can take twists and turns. So it's very important for you to have, for example, if you think you're going to do it 3 months, maybe look at it, maybe 3 years. So what are the steps that I can take, for example, for the next 3 years or 1 year to shorten it and make it, for example, the progress. Then never ignore specific business objective of your local partner. I think it's very important to communicate everything early on and to put it on paper. Partnerships should always be mutual for value exchanges, so it should be a win-win situation for both parties. And the most important key takeaway is use it as a framework to emphasize an AI startup growth in a new international market is ultimately limited not only by your idea, but by your ecosystem. So focus on building trust. Let people trust you, whether it's on a small project that you work out first. Start with small pilots, then after you scale through strategic alliances. So that way, once you actually have the small project, you can actually build up bigger projects, and also the same ecosystem partners will actually refer you to other people that they know, because you already build the trust and credibility over there. Hi, Shushma, can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful insights and conversation. So, to our speaker, Eliza Sophia, thank you for sharing your expertise and practical perspectives with global AIpreneurs community. Your insights on entrepreneurship, founder development, communication, startups, resilience, and global growth remind us building successful AI companies requires not only innovative technologies but also strong leadership, effective collaboration, and resilient teams. To everyone joining us from around the world, thank you for being part of today's session. The future of artificial intelligence will be shaped by leaders who can successfully bridge technology, business transformation, and human capability. If you are an AI founder, innovator, investor, or enterprise leader looking to become a part of this growing global ecosystem, we invite you to join us, Global AIpreneurs. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, keep innovative, keep learning, and together let's build a trusted and resilient, responsible global AI ecosystem.
Thank you,
Thank you
Shushma,
for
for having
everyone.
me. Thank you, Shushma, for having me as well, and really lovely to collaborate with you and Global AIpreneurs. I hope to see you grow and scale up, and hopefully to come across all of you in Malaysia as well.
Yeah. Thank you.